Not unlike Hitler in some ways. Basically a bit like Stewie. We want world domination, or European domination anyway. And but in the same way that Hitler was trying to beat this country up to get control of the air, what Napoleon had to do 100 years earlier was to get control of the sea. And so he had to beat the British Navy. The defining encounter took place off the coast, down on the coast, off the coast of Spain, a tiny little place called Trafalgar. And it was a great victory. And the head of the British Navy on the day, a chap called Admiral Lord Nelson, and it is he who is commemorated in the centre of Trafalgar Square. Single column, big statue of Nelson on the top, and so unsurprisingly they've called it Nelson's Column. Now Nelson himself did not survive the battle. He wanted to be an inspiration to his men, so he was dressed in full uniform and full regalia and medals. Unfortunately, he was equally an inspiration to the French snipers. He did survive long enough to know that he had scored a great victory, and the key decision was taken to bring his body back for a full state funeral. Normally anyone dying at sea would be buried at sea, and so consequently they had to use their imagination, because they didn't they didn't, oh, here's a spare supply of formaldehyde we had prepared earlier. So they had no way of preserving bodies, so the best they could do was effectively to pickle Nelson in a barrel of alcohol. Lots of debate as to whether it was rum, wine, port, or whatever it was. Anyway, they got him back, and it was a full state funeral, which took place back at St Paul's Cathedral there, and in fact that is where he is buried. But it was a huge event in this country, 1805. Everybody was absolutely terrified. Napoleon, absolutely serious about invading this country. La Grande Armée, they had an army ready and waiting to invade. Does this sound familiar? Who says history does not repeat itself? Napoleon determined to invade this country, but when news came about the Battle of Trafalgar, he was furious. He was furious, and so he decided to turn east and to invade Russia. As I said before, who says history doesn't repeat itself? So coming into Trafalgar Square, you've got the column in the middle, and so we go straight through over. No, to the right. Yeah. And you've got the Four Lions. We've got a big Thailand festival. We're celebrating Thailand this weekend, apparently. I actually think it's great food, great noodles. Can't help thinking there's a whole PR thing going on there, but that's a whole other story, isn't it? Have you seen all our elephants? Have you seen all our elephants?
What are the elephants?
Yeah, we thought it'd be, apparently somebody thought it'd be a good idea to put elephants everywhere. Apparently African elephants, they're doing really well, reproducing really healthily. But it's that Asian elephants are really struggling. So all these elephants is to promote the plight of the Asian elephant, and they're everywhere. So see that Bentley bus over there?
Stuart?
Yes, hello.
Could you explain the fourth pillar, please? The arch?
Yes. Sorry, the fourth plinth?
Yes.
Yes. And over to the right, the big building is the National Gallery. There's an interesting story about big debates about what to do with the pictures during the war. But we have various statues in the square, one at each corner, but there's never been any on the far corner on the right hand side. Oh, this is actually a first for me. If you look through this arch, they're doing part of the changing of the guard. Now, one of the reasons we've also kept away